Well, looks like everybody's here. So, Bella, oops, yeah, oops. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I was using my Windows computer and I accidentally switched the sound away from my Mac. So I am trying to yes, I know I have a meeting tomorrow. So. Join a new meeting. Yes, you can join. Yay. So did everybody get, well, Olivia and Kayla said they sort of got WPI lib installed. How about you, Bella?
Yeah, I got WPI and IntelliJ installed.
Okay, cool.
And I was able to download a version of JDK.
From Git? Or, oh, the JDK, sorry.
Yeah, since I didn't have it.
Okay. So you'll also probably need to install Git, which I sent out this morning. Oops. Oh, go away. So did that make sense? What I sent out this morning as far as Git?
Here, 1 second, let me pull it up. I'm looking for Git.
Yeah, well, it's in the same mail as the Google Meet stuff.
Oh, got it. Sorry.
Read the whole email.
I have so many emails. I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem. Don't worry about it.
Okay, I'll download Git right now.
Yeah, it's really small. So Laura can agree or disagree, and we can go a different way if Laura wants to go a different way, but I thought we'd spend the first part of today going over Git and working with Git and getting stuff in Git and getting things set up using Git. Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
So I did do a little bit of playing last night, and I will share my Windows computer here. That's why you actually, no, I didn't disable. Oh, that's nice. Hold on. Let's see. Share screen. Events. Events sharing opens. Who can share? All participants. I guess because I hadn't set this up yet. Who can? Okay. Go back over here. Share screen. There we go. Show all. I'll just do show all windows. You can see all the fun stuff I have open on my computer. So I want command prompt. So if you have Git installed, when you do the command prompt, you should see something that looks like that. If you just type Git. Yes, no.
Does that make sense? Have you guys opened up command prompt before?
So, oh, yeah, the way you get to the command prompt is you can do search for CMD. There's this thing called command prompt. Which takes you here. I have the color set so that I get the color set the way I like it. But, yes, no.
Yes, I'm pulling it up right now.
Okay.
So I went into the little search bar and then should I open Git CMD or should I open command prompt?
Do command prompt.
Okay.
So
And
if
then
you
it
do the
says,
command prompt, CMD, which is this guy right here,
uh-huh.
it'll open a window like this.
Yeah.
And then you should just be able to type Git, and you get something that looks like that.
Uh-huh.
If you have it installed. The research I found is that Windows doesn't have it installed by default, but the Mac and Linux does. So
Git bash or Git.
Should be, if you go to, I don't know, email controls. So if I go to git-scm.com / download, you just click on Windows here, and actually it's already clicking on Windows, it actually downloaded it for me.
So which Git should I open up? The Git bit?
Yes.
Got it. All right, cool. Thank you.
Yes, it's safe to do. And then you click run. I already have it installed here, so.
Okay. What should you see when you open up Git for the first time?
Say what?
What should you see when you open up the Git for the first time?
I'm not quite sure.
Huh?
um,
Sorry.
if it's installed, you should just be able to type it on the command prompt, and you would see something that looks like this.
Got it. Okay.
Do you see that?
I see something like that. Only
Okay.
only like one line though.
Okay.
So wrong Git, I think.
Did you want to share your screen so I
Sure.
can stop sharing?
Where are you? Where? Here, what's that screen? There we go. So I have this, but I think that's the wrong Git.
Okay.
There are two other
Um,
Gits on my.
That's fine. So just type command, like for this in the search, type CMD.
Oh, CMD right there. Okay. This is the one.
Oh, it's funny. I'm pointing at the screen like down here. Yes. Now type Git. GIT.
GID. Okay.
No. Yeah.
Oh.
Go back to the command window that you had open, or it said dollar. It's just close the start menu.
What? Sorry.
Close the
Like-
start menu.
Yeah. If you close the start menu, the kind of black square
Yeah.
that had opened this here, and then
Yeah.
click inside that.
Yeah.
And so now do you see that the cursor is kind of like that little blinking
Yeah.
white shows that that's where your cursor is. So now here you can try like GIT enter, just typing Git and enter. And it might have to be lowercase,
Yep.
but nice, perfect, that worked.
Okay,
No,
cool. Thanks.
Windows doesn't care about case.
Okay.
So also you should go like in the start menu if you search. It's interesting that they have it listed as a Git command, but that's fine. That works too. The important thing is that you have that. So if you stop sharing, I'll show you what you need to do next.
And then I guess it's good to know that that command prompt that you opened, it had that like C drive /users/Bella that kind of shows the location of where the command prompt is currently open. So there's other commands that you like, there's many different commands that you can run through the command line. And so if you ran commands, you would be running it from that location. And so there you can also like move to a different folder that's within that directory, and then the like line would show that you were then within a different folder. And so I think over this time you'll get more comfortable with the command prompt or terminals. So
Can I share my screen to see if I set it up right? I want to.
sure, yeah.
So, let's see. What was that?
I think Kayla and Olivia are going to share a screen quickly just to check how they're at.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what I have, and then if I go into here, I typed in
Yep.
Git,
Yep.
and then I come up with
Yep.
Git. Good?
Awesome, you're good.
Good.
Yep.
Okay,
Awesome.
wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, now for the bit that even I have a little bit of I always sort of struggle with it. So you now have the little utility installed on your computer that allows you to communicate with like GitLab and the website. So, but you have to set up a piece that basically authenticates you. So let's see here, share my screen. I want to, where is, where did it go? I want to share all my windows. So share. Sleeping tool. Well, I guess I will show my website or share my website for now, or my browser for now. So you'll need to go to GitLab, gitlab.com. And in your, you need to go to your, well, you could, my stupid meeting thing is in the way. Okay. So, go, I need you to go over here. There you go. So click on your little profile in the upper right-hand corner of the web page, and you'll need to go to settings. So everybody got that?
Yeah.
Okay. So over on the left, you see a bunch of things to for settings. You need to go down to the item where it says SSH keys. And so it takes you to this wonderful dialog box. So as you can see down here, I have several keys set, and it's one key per user / machine. So for Olivia and Kayla, I have to work on figuring out how I would do multiple, unless you each have your own user account on your Windows machine, then one person can do it now and the other person can do it later. But if you use the same account user logon on your Windows machine, I have to do a little bit of research on how to do multiple users on one Windows account. But as you can see, I have my Windows 7 machine, my MacBook, the robotics laptop, the robotics server, and another key for my another MacBook. I think this is my old MacBook. So, because I have two MacBooks. Keep this page open. And then what you need to do is go to the command prompt, and I'm going to then share my command prompt. I was wanting to show, screen, share, screen, yes. Yes, now you can see my whole screen. So the tricky bit for this is again, I need to. So the nice thing is if you want to know how to generate keys, up here there's a link that says generate one. So I'm just going, leave me that HTML. No, that's not what it's for. Where was it? Oh, how I missed Linux, because I forgot how to look up prior commands on Windows. Meanwhile, I'm just gonna. Oh, I don't have enough there. So let me. Let's see here.
Apparently,
SH keygen, right? And do you remember the options, Laura?
for the SSH-keygen-T space RSA and then dash or like flag dash capital C space a string with your email is one tutorial that I'm looking at.
That's a little different than what I did
I'm
last
not sure if that's what you're doing, but if you do, if you wanted your command history, I just quickly Googled that, and I think it's DOS key / history with a capital H in command prompt if you're interested in.
Really quick for SSH keygen Windows. Yeah, you are right. That's a little different than what I did last time. But, either way, that should work. RSA keys. Yeah. So, oh, no dash for the RSA.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yep.
And then the default place it's gonna save it is fine. I am going to have it save this one in a slightly different place because I already have a key there and I don't want to screw it up. And then it's going to ask for passphrase. I would say do not do the passphrase because it will not work. It works great for the command line and you have to type your password in every single time. Visual Studio Code will not prompt you for the passphrase, so just hit enter, just leave it empty, and hit enter again. And it will create a, it's created a key for you. So if you go to the location where it saved the key, like here, go to this directory. So the way you would do that is you would just go cd c:\/ .ssh. Oops, I forgot users. And then you will see the file here. And the one I created down here is this test me one. And then you can do, what you need to do is you need to open this in like Notepad. Notepad is just a simple text editor. So you can do Notepad ID RSA. And then you get this wonderful, this is what's in that file. And then you basically want to select all of this. My mouse is old. This is why I'm having problems. It likes to do weird things. So you can just copy this and we paste it in here. And we can give it a title like my test. You can call it whatever you want. You could call it bellows. Usually you do something like to indicate what machine it's on. Like I could do my test key on Windows 7. And I would just leave the expiration blank and then you can, oh, this doesn't look like a public SSH key. Are you sure you want to add it? What was the history thing, Laura?
It was DOS key / history. Yep.
Interesting.
And I wonder if you tried / history with that DOS key, but
Yeah. I remember. So, yeah, it's been a while since I've done this.
Nice.
Of course, it doesn't go back far enough. Um, let me look on my Mac really quick. Of course, my Mac doesn't have anything on it. Erg. Oh, it's a private key. Duh.
Oh, the pub, yeah.
Okay, and that's the other clue that it actually did something, that it's actually the right one, is because it actually figured out my username and my machine name. So like,
Yeah.
then I can add the key. Yeah, so I've already added a key, so it's like wanting to tell me that you basically already have it, but it should just add the key for you, because I did this last night.
So maybe do you want to go back to the command prompt just to see what that command is if Kayla, Olivia, and Bella haven't used it yet? Maybe you guys can.
Oh, it's that one right there.
Yeah, I have a git up, and then what do we type? And then I have my C username Bella. What's the next thing we type in order to?
So you want to do this SSH keygen, SSH hyphen keygen, and then space hyphen T space RSA space hyphen capital C and then space your email address.
Does it matter that the little I'm trying to use the word to describe it.
The what?
The fraction symbol after it .ssh for me is for Bella. There's not an SSH.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's so this shows that on Wade's command prompt, he is within the directory, his .ssh directory. So that just shows like where this command prompt is open on his machine, and on yours, you're currently just in the Bella like user folder.
Got it. So just
so
go
that's
to
all good.
Just do notepad.
Yeah. Well, did you do the SSH-keygen command yet?
I haven't. .ssh. Wait, where do I start?
Okay.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
No worries. So I just sent it in the chat too. So it's basically that text you would like substitute with your email. But then that's kind of the command that you can enter, and you can enter it from really from whatever location, but from the Bella directory is perfect in your command prompt.
Enter once you take that enter, you press enter.
Yes, yeah. Just if you put your email in the spot where I like put your email and not have the side quotes, if that makes sense. Maybe I should have done that. Yeah. Oh yeah, not quotes. Yeah. But yeah, you'd enter that in with your email and then can press enter.
And then there's A. So what does the? This is interfile to which save the key. A parentheses little
See what?
It gave me generating public private RSA
Mhm.
key pair interfile in which to save the key.
Yep. So you can, and then it should have like C:\users Bella /.ssh/. It should, this part that's in parentheses is the default, so you should just be able to accept that.
So if
It
you
should look
press
something like
press
what I have.
enter and it
Yeah.
looks similar to that, it should just generate it in like
So
where
just
it's
press.
interesting.
So just press
press-
enter.
Yep.
Don't type anything. Okay. Create directory, enter passphrase.
And then you can just enter through that and it won't, if you don't type anything, it will not enter a passphrase.
Enter again, enter same password again, enter.
Yep.
And then it has RSA 204A.
Yep.
Go
You
little-
get the cute little
Yeah.
art thingy. Yep. So
And
create
C
something.
users Bella.
So from your Bella directory, you can just do cd space dot ssh. So you'd be in a directory like this, right?
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
So you can do cd dot ssh. And if you do dir, that will list the contents of the directory. And you should see an ID _ RSA dot pub file.
Yeah, I have that. What's the wait,
And so, yeah.
1 second. That's not.
You want to share your screen so I can see?
Yes, it says that GR is not.
Yeah, no problem.
Once Bella's done, can I share my screen as well to see?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yep.
And then do dir.
DIR.
Oh yeah, dir. Yep.
Oh, that's
Okay. So then do notepad
good.
space and then ID _ RSA dot pub.
What? Underscore
RSA dot pub,
BUD.
which stands for public.
Pub, yeah.
Okay.
Hit enter.
And then,
Yeah.
and okay, cool. And then just copy and paste this.
Yeah,
Into the GitLab, yep.
into the
Yep.
GitLab page.
Thank you.
Okay, so I have. Okay. Yeah, so I have this, and then I typed in, this portion. I typed
Unknown.
that, and then it said unknown. So I was like,
It needs to be
Can you, yeah.
capital C.
So if you press the up arrow,
Yeah.
it'll, and then just tab over
Left
to
arrow.
where left arrow. That moves the cursor over, and then I guess right arrow a few just to where that dash C is,
Oh,
and then you
C.
make it a capital C.
You need to go right one and yep, there you go.
Nice,
and
yeah.
then just press enter, and that should.
Just hit enter. It doesn't matter where it's at.
Oh. Oh.
Did not resolve host name. So go up.
Oh, I
Hit the
think
up
that there
arrow.
was,
Yeah, there's an angle bracket after SSH.
yeah.
Down. Oops, go back down arrow. There's an angle bracket after SSH. So
What is an angle bracket?
the greater than sign,
Oh.
go right one, hit the right arrow. Okay, now backspace.
And I
Yeah.
think you also need to go left over to,
Yeah, and get rid of the period.
and yep.
Yes.
Yep, and that should be good.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh, but then, sorry.
Whoops.
Oh, nice. That,
What?
Too many arguments.
it look?
ST
Yeah.
to,
I was wondering if, because there, I think that the C made it became a capital C again.
oh, yeah,
I mean, became a lowercase c again.
yeah.
Oh,
So
So
go up and
now
go
we
change the
can.
C to the,
this.
just gotta do the up
Almost.
arrow, sorry, the clicky thing doesn't work. Change, yeah.
Ah. Wait, that was a
Space.
dash.
Yeah, or, and then go right, and then, yep. Yep,
Just hit enter.
just hit enter. There you go.
Nice.
Oh.
Hit enter. And then hit enter.
Just whatever.
Just
Just
enter.
hit enter.
Yeah.
Just leave it empty.
And then enter again.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
nice. Now
Now
that
Now
was
do
generated.
cd space dot ssh. SSH.
Oh.
Two S's. And so CD is change directory. So
Yep.
it's basically
Oh.
moving you from being in this, like right now
Folder.
you're in your, like the user directory of Christina Anderson. And then when you do
Okay.
CD into s.ssh, you're now moving into the .ssh directory or folder. And then from here, you can do that dir. Oh no, you're good. Yeah, right now you are
You're
in the
in the right spot.
.ssh. Yep. So from here you can do dir, enter. And so that, yeah, lists the contents of the directory, so all the different files that are currently in this directory. And then so you see, you can probably see like in this directory there's the ID RSA and the ID underscore RSA.pub.
Yeah.
And so then we'll do the same thing of notepad space ID underscore RSA.pub. And so that will open up in Notepad this file that you're providing.
Oh.
No.
No.
Interesting.
Close
I
it.
have this notepad open, but should I get rid of this notepad?
It doesn't matter. Close that too. So
Oh, I see. It was I think you might have done a dash rather than an underscore in the
yeah,
ID
yeah, that's
ID
what
underscore RSA.
Ah, that was
So again, yeah, if you can either type it in again, or when you do the up arrow, it will go back to the last command that you had just entered. And so if you did, or you'll want to,
Oh.
Publisher.
yeah.
Yeah, close that.
So you can go back to command prompt and then
Yes.
let's try just the up arrow once and then once
One
again.
more time. Yeah.
And so now you can just left space over to where basically the R is and then backspace and then do the underscore. And so it includes
There you
this. And now
go.
you can enter and it should open it up. Yeah.
Yay.
A
Like I
quick
said,
question since
this is the
I'm-
hardest part. This is the
This
most
is so
tricky part.
confusing. I'm never gonna remember any of this.
Oh, trust me, I have to go look this up every time I have to go do it. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm walking you
it's-
guys through it.
Well, this part you only do once really, because
Yeah,
once this
you
is
only
set
do this
up,
once.
then we can use the git commands and we don't have to worry about the SSH adding it back because it's already set up. Yeah.
to make sure I don't mess anything up, mine has like for the notepad has my email included. Do I paste that as well into the GitLab?
It has what?
My email at the very end.
Do I stop sharing my good notes?
It should be fine.
Yeah.
If
You
it's
could.
if it's an email address, it should be fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I just I don't want to mess anything up and then have to go back and redo everything once I realize I was
there's a
like,
way we can test it out here once.
okay, cool. Thank you.
Do I still need to share my screen or am I good?
You can do the cheaty way to select everything in Notepad is to do Control A. Oops. And then you can then you can copy it, or you can just highlight the whole line.
Yeah. Yeah, and so to answer the other question, yeah, it's fine that you stopped screen sharing, but then from there you can just copy all the contents from that notepad file and put it into that GitLab place to enter that SSH key. And yeah, that's a good shortcut that Wade mentioned to, if you want to copy all the contents, the Control A.
Yeah, I've done this a few times.
Yeah. But as you start using, typing and encoding more, different keyboard shortcuts can come in really handy. So they're good to know. But cool. I guess let us know once the SSH keys are added into your GitLab page.
Mine are, so
Okay.
So I ended up with this is like the
So
notepad. So
the
I
way
ended
you
up
can the way you can test out whether it works, that you have it set up correctly, is I will post this in the chat window. Let's see. Zoom meeting chat.
And then, so Kayla and Olivia, from here, if you click into your notepad,
okay.
click into your notepad and then do Control A. And so that's selected all the text. And from here, you can either go to Edit Copy, or you can do Control C would copy.
Okay, I controlled C.
Okay.
Yep.
And then if you go over to your GitLab page, your whatever browser you have GitLab open in.
How do I paste it? Oh, I just paste it.
And we can't see your GitLab page, but if you've
Oh.
put it into that
I did.
and saved it, and then were you able to kind of save it there as well?
Hold on. I pressed, or I in title. Oh. Yeah. So there we go. Now it looks
Yep.
like this.
Yep. Looks
And
good.
then
Add key.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yay!
We did it.
Trust
I
me.
was so confused. Okay, now
This
Olivia,
is
it's your turn.
the first time I had to go do this, I didn't want to go bug people like Laura and other people that can't, because I was a manager, I don't want to look stupid. It took me and it wasn't critical to my job. So it took me like 2 or 3 days to figure it out. So don't feel bad. The way you can test this out, and I'll share my screen. And I put this command in the chat window. Is you can do this command called do an SSH-T, and then I'm going to cheat. I have it in the clipboard. You can do SSH-T git at gitlab.com. If you just type that on the command line and hit enter, you should get a wonderful welcome to GitLab and and then your username. So try that and it should work.
I did something wrong apparently.
Why? What did it do?
It says the authenticity of host gitlab.com. Wait, did I spell something wrong?
Why don't you share your screen and we can take a look. Oh, no, you're fine. Type yes or Y.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, no, I forgot about this because what SSH is it's a way for you to basically use command lines on remote computers. And that's basically what it's doing. It's basically just connecting to a server out on the internet and using a command line on their server. And there's this fingerprint that gets created. And if you look in that .ssh folder, you'll see there's a file called like known hosts now. And it's basically using that to authenticate that you're connecting to the right computer and that it's who you think it is. And so, no, that's good. So no, that's
I
totally
got scared
fine.
for a minute. I was like,
I've done it already, so that's why I didn't get it. And so you will never see that again if you try it again. If you try that with GitLab again, you will never see it again.
No, I think I
Unless you
messed up
delete
again.
known hosts.
No worries. Let's see your screen.
Okay. Hold on. I should remember this one. Oh, well, thank you. Okay. So it says that. There we go. Okay. So it says that I messed it up. It says -t is not recognizable.
So do SSH
Okay.
space -T space git at gitlab.com. So it's like an email address. You forgot the
Yeah.
that part. Type yes.
Yes.
Yay! Okay. That's the hardest part.
Good to know we're done.
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank
well,
you.
That's the trickiest part. So I will share my screen. And you only have to set this up once for your account on your machine. So if you were to use a different machine, you have to go through this again. Last year I set this up on the driver station. And this is why if you look at last year's GitLab project, most of the changes are made by me. I really didn't make all those changes, but the SSH key that was set up on the driver station was set up under my account. So it looks like I did all the changes. So with that, I will share my screen. Share. Oh, Zoom meeting.
here, I actually have to leave in a couple minutes.
Oh, okay.
So I'll jump. I can, if you want to send the recording out on an email, I can pick up what I have.
Let's see.
I have to leave in like.
Or did you guys want to? I know we're kind of coming up on an hour and things kind of get not productive after an hour. So, Olivia and Kayla, did you want to take a break? Maybe pick up tomorrow or later this afternoon, or?
I don't really mind. Later this afternoon or
Okay.
tomorrow works for me. But if Bella needs to go and be inefficient, we can go.
So really quickly, Bella, before you go, I want to show you something. Why can't I see my team controls? I want to share and it's not. Exit minimized. Oh, there we go. So really quickly, before Bella leaves, the nice thing about GitLab, when you create a new project, they actually tell you how to get it populated, because you can go into this group. I want to go to my groups. I want to go to robotics. So in here, you guys can do whatever you want. So in the Seabot robotics group, you can create a new subgroup if you want to create like Kayla's group, a place for Kayla to put her stuff, or if you want to do your own little projects, or you can just create a new project, like call it Bella's project or whatever you want to do. And you just do either a new subgroup and then inside the subgroup, you can do a new project. The nice thing that GitLab will do is if you haven't put anything in the project, they tell you exactly how to populate it. So before you do anything, you need to do this global setup part, and you can just do this on the command line. You just type you don't have to be any specific directory or anything like that. And this is just setting options in GitLab, in Git, to identify you, so that when you check things in and populate things, it goes under this name. And then if you have a bunch of files that you want to put in, like that are already on your file on your computer, you can do this push an existing folder. So you go to the existing folder, you do a git init, which initializes a Git repository locally on your machine. You set up the remote connection, and I'll walk Kayla and stuff through that, and so you'll be able to see it in the video, Bella. But if you forget what to do, this is basically what it's. This will remind you what you need to do. So, or if there's an existing repository out there, you can use that too. But you won't ever do that. So, what we're going to do next is we're actually going to go into the infinite. I'll do this on the screen. I'll share it out so you'll be able to see it. Go back and refer to it in the video. If you want to try it and create your own project and populate it, you're more than welcome to do that. Yeah, so that's going to be the next step. That sound like a plan?
Thank you. See you guys.
See you, Bella. Okay. So let's see here. So once you have we're going to do the option of push an existing folder because we don't have anything really set up yet for 20. And I may delete this and delete the repository and start over again, but and that's fine because I'm not quite sure exactly what template we're going to use, but I just want to go through this to show you guys how you can populate it and make changes and how it works with VS Code. So with that, here is the ever wonderful WPIlib thing. I'm just going to close that because we are just going to create a new project so you can see what to do.
Where are you?
So I will close this and I'll start totally over again. Because I already had it open. That's fine.
I totally missed where you went. I was like, wait a minute.
Oh, no, it's fine because I have all this stuff open. So, and it's okay to like say, hey, what the hell are you doing? Because
That's how I feel right now.
I've been doing this for a while. So I get ahead of myself. So I have WPIlib installed, and it created on my desktop a shortcut to launch it. So I'm just going to use the shortcut on the desktop. It's going to open WPIlib. And it's actually going to open the last project I had open, but I'm going to create a new project. So over here.
Yeah, and so then this is inside VS Code, which
Yes.
is kind of another option to IntelliJ. And if you want, you could, we might suggest to also install this to have it available because Wade is going to kind of show another shortcut that VS Code has some things built in that work well with WPIlib.
Yes.
Which there might be ways to do it in IntelliJ, but we're not entirely aware of how
Yes. And
they're set up there.
IntelliJ is not totally supported by FRC. So
I went to WPI, whatever. I went there, like I typed it into Google.
Yeah.
And then I clicked on like the first link, and it took me.
You did what?
It took me to this like little square. It took me to this website, and so now I have a bunch of options. Of like it says like introduction. It says 0 to robot, and like the introduction, building the robot.
So you wanna share what you're seeing? So
Yeah.
that's gonna be the easiest way for me to figure out what you're seeing.
Okay, so I came to this.
Oh, okay. So yes, this is the web page.
Yeah.
So install. So in the one of the emails I sent out like last week, there's a link to how to install it. That takes you to the installer.
Okay.
Yes, that email.
Okay.
So yeah. So
I'm assuming I have a Windows.
so to get the file, you click on, where is it? There's a link that says, there's the purple part that says GitHub.
Purple part. It's purple. Oh. Okay.
So then scroll down. And then you want to download, you are probably most likely on a 64-bit machine. So where it says WPI lib Windows 64 2021. That,
So?
yes.
Oh wow. It is going fast. 10 minutes left. 9 minutes. Oh, there's 10 minutes, 9 minutes. It's like 14, and then it was like 5 minutes. Okay, so then once this was also very confusing when I was trying to download it a couple days ago. I didn't understand. I didn't want to mess anything up.
Good news, there's much less plastic in his stool, but still some. It's
Yeah.
just not like polka dotted with it,
Yes.
just a few pieces, but it was a little loose. Someone finished his food. So,
Oh, I put them chicken in there so they eat. Yes, that should work.
so there's multiple sizes.
Okay.
He's like, check this part,
Yes.
because that's what
That's
sets
what
the
seals.
size.
That's what, yeah.
So he's like, this is probably the most common. That's what he recommended, but he's like, check the size of the
They're
top
cheap,
first.
so.
Yeah, it wasn't too much. Yeah,
Yes. So yes, you guys got a little update on Puppy Stool.
It says that it is 9 minutes left.
So is it done?
It says it has a couple minutes.
Oh, it's not done yet.
Yeah, it might take 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, it says
So-
like 8 to 9 minutes.
So you can, so once it's done, if you go back to the, hit the back button on the browser. So once it's downloaded, and if it doesn't download the rest of the way this afternoon and you want to do it later, if you scroll down where it says extracting the installer, follow these directions and it will tell you how to run the installer.
Okay.
So once the file downloads in Windows 10, you can right click on the file and do the mount option, and then it will open it as a folder and you can run the installer from there.
Okay.
Just double click the WPI lib installer. And if you scroll down some more, this is where it talks, this is the dialog that comes up afterwards. And like I said, you want to go back up a little bit more. The second dialog box that comes up here, you want to do this download VS Code for single install. So
Okay.
you can go through these steps and do it that way. And then once it's installed, you should it should put on your desktop a shortcut like I have.
Yeah. And then if we can kind of like maybe scroll through the rest of this, because actually this page, I think it was maybe step 4 of here was the link I was thinking to send to you guys that has just like the quick instructions of setting up that project in VS Code. So I think through like this page here, you would then have the WPI lib and VS Code like combo. And then you'd be all set up for step. And actually, I see it in the left-hand panel. There's that step 4, programming your robot. And then you can click on the middle option, creating your benchtop desk program, C++ Java. And so this is essentially the same thing that I kind of walked through yesterday, but this is in IntelliJ rather than, I mean, in VS Code rather than IntelliJ.
And this is what I'm going to go through like right now. So.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
Okay. 6 minutes. Doing good.
So if you want to let that finish downloading, I'll kind of like walk you through this part here and then, or show you, and so let's see, share my screen. So once you get it installed, you'll have a shortcut like this on your desktop. So you can launch that. And it should look something like this. I don't want the welcome thing. Oops, maybe I did. Ignore that. So when you launch it, there should be this little W in a red circle here. So you'll want to click on that. And then you want to do, if create project is not the first thing, you can just, you notice it'll have this WPI lib here. You can just do create project and it will filter the list of items there. So you can then just create a new project. And it takes you to this wonderful little dialogue, I guess. So if I creating something new, I can create an example or I can create a template. Under example, there's a bunch of different types of things to do. If you want to see how some of the stuff works. I actually want to do a template for this example for what I'm wanting to show. So I'm going to do a Java template. If you figured out basically on what we did last year, based on the folder in which things are created, we use the timed robot. I might change that this year to use the command robot. I need to figure out how some of the classes work, because I tried the command robot last year and I was having issues, but I'll do timed robot for now. A base folder where you want to create things. So I would recommend creating a folder under, this is always the fun part about Windows. This is one thing I don't like about Windows 10, but you do C:\users and your username. Oh, I guess it is there. So the default place it's going to open is your Windows user location. I would create a new folder there called like my FRC, whatever you want to call it. Just so you know where it's at. And then that's going to be my base folder. And then my project is going to be, actually, I'm going to do select a new project folder. I am going to go into my FRC and I am going to create a folder called 2021. Select folder. And then I'm going to call it timed robot. And then I put in the team number, or team 1258. And then I hit generate project. And I want to create it in the current window, which is fine. It just reuses the same instance of VS Code and loads that folder. So I have a project created. So it's gone through and it's created all this wonderful stuff. So if I go back to my wonderful little cans in, go back to my empty project in GitLab, because let's see, not 2020. I want infinite recharge at home. So you can see basically I'm doing this part here. So I want to, so basically what I'm going to do, I hate my mouse. No, I don't want a new file. Cancel. Okay. Yes. So I'm basically just gonna go to where I created my. Now my mouse is being stupid. So I created that folder under my FRC. How I'm used to. And like I said, and dir lists what's in the folder, and I want to change to the 2021 folder. And there's a timed robot folder. Okay, so I'm in the folder where I have all the stuff that WPI created. So that covers the first step here. See the existing folder. So this is the folder that has all the stuff that I want to add. So now I'm going to do a git.
And then actually, before you do a init, do you want to just do git and then just show it'll just say like git not initialized yet or something like that?
When you're done explaining, may I share my screen? Because it's finally downloaded.
Oh, it did download?
Yeah, when you're done explaining, may I share my screen? So you can
Okay.
walk with me?
Okay.
Not mess this up.
So did you want to try and install it then? Or
Sure.
I can stop sharing for a second if you want.
Okay. So,
yeah.
Yeah, okay, right. So then
Okay.
should I open this?
So show in folder. Okay, so it's highlighted at the top. So right click on it. And then whoops. Yeah, and then WPI install, WPI lib installer.
This one?
Yep.
Okay. Left click or right click?
Just double click. Just run it. Open. Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Next.
Start.
The upper left box.
Install.
It's downloading VS Code.
And I realized I was thinking more, we haven't really gotten to Git status yet, but that's a common, like,
Yes.
I'll be like Git status and then they'll say not existing, but
Uh,
nice. Yes, you can do next.
do I go to next?
Yep.
Install procedure.
Actually do all, that's fine.
Oops. I can cancel it and go back.
No, that's fine. I was gonna say you can always reinstall it. It's no big deal. It's whether or not, because you use it, you're basically using your mom's. I'm assuming it's your mom's account
Yeah.
on the computer, so it's fine. It's whether or not you want it installed for all users on the computer or just the one user that you're running this. So that's gonna, I don't think it takes too long. It goes pretty quick, actually. So Laura, you notice here it says like ARM FRC 2021. This is where I'm not sure how you would hook it up to, that's where all the debugger stuff is at for if you were to debug.
Oh, nice. I can't see your screen right now, but for
Yeah. But when you install the
one of the
WPI, like you see it
options.
installing a bunch of the
Oh, yep, yeah.
debugger stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just checking. We got
And
just a
finished.
quick email from Larry. Yeah. Nice.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Now that was X.
Yeah,
You
you
can
can.
close that.
Yeah. And then now in the bottom left of your desktop, I see that you have that 2021 WPI lib VS Code 2. So that's the same shortcut that
Yep.
Wade used. So yeah, that'll open up VS Code, and then you'll have kind of the same, be able to follow the same steps of that.
Yep.
Like top right WPI command palette and start or create, and so you can play around with that whenever you want if you're interested.
Okay.
No.
No, I thought it.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
And so,
this one thing I noticed is when you close the little welcome thing, it makes what they call the command palette, that W with the red circle around it, go away.
yeah.
Oh,
But for VS Code, if you're like clicked onto VS Code, if you do Control P,
Yes.
or nice, yeah. And so now you can type in WPI lib, and this will kind of show the same options that would appear if you'd had like clicked straight to that WPI command palette.
So you can then do colon. So these are listing the commands you can do from there. So there should be, if you scroll down, there should be a create project, creating project. Yep.
And so those are kind of all the different example project bases that they have that have some, all different options of functionality. If you want an example project that shows, whatever different things of, I think yesterday I showed like an elevator, but I think there's an arm and a bunch of different things. And nice, yeah.
So then you can select a new project folder. And here I would just create a new folder. So right click, and type and pick new folder. Up a little bit. Right click in there, new folder. Down, moves down, down. Here you go, folder. And then yeah, you can do that. You can call it whatever you want. That works too, as long as you know what it is.
I'm gonna put robotics in front.
I don't know if you can. I would avoid doing parentheses, but you could just call it 2021.
Oh, that's a big year. All right.
So hit enter and then select.
Okay, select one.
Yep. And then you can call it time or my robot or
Oh. Wonderful. Do I have to continue?
1258
Yeah,
is the team
yeah,
number.
I might as well. Or it's a 1258.
1258.
Oh, I had no clue what it was.
Yeah.
Project?
Yep. Generate the project. Yep. Yay.
Nice.
Oh, wow. Oh.
So now there's a little dialog down at the lower right hand corner. You can get rid of that. Yeah. So I think it will actually try to, once it creates a project, it actually tries to build it. So that's what it's basically doing right now. And we can show you how to build it. Yep. So if you want, so it actually, after it created it, it actually ran a build for you. But if you wanted to build it, you can click on the W, on the command palette in the upper right corner. To the right. All right, there you go. And then you can just type build. And actually you see it like the 5th one down. Yep. Build robot code. And it's actually going to go out. And as you see down here, down below, yep, built. Yay. So I can continue with what I was going to show if you want. So let's see here. So you basically where I was at, and my mouse is being obnoxious again. That's good. So yeah. Okay. So I went into the directory where I created the project, and as Laura was saying, I can do git status, and it'll say fail, not a Git repository or any of the parent directories, blah, blah, blah. So I need to do this first step, which is called git init. And so this just initializes Git repository in my directory. Here it says, yep, initialize the Git repository and where I set it at. And then I can do git status. And I get a status. And actually, it said, hey, there's a bunch of files and directories in here that aren't in your repository and stuff. That's basically what this is telling you. So the next thing I want to do is I want to, so I can do Git locally, but the whole goal is to kind of like get everything up on the GitLab server so that everybody can see it, because it's great to have it on my machine, but it's even better if other people can see what I'm doing. So I have to do this git remote add. So basically I'm telling Git where I want the remote stuff, where the Git server is at. So I can do that command and I just copy pasted it. You can type the whole thing if you want. If you haven't figured out, I don't know if it's enabled by default. There's a way to enable copy paste. In the Mac, it's enabled, but basically, there's a way to enable it for the command prompt in Windows. I do that. It doesn't give me any exciting messages. And then the next thing is I'm going to do a git add, which is this dot. So the dot tells it to add everything that's in the folder. Oops. It's going to be easier if I just do git add dot. So it went through and added a bunch of stuff. So now if I do a git status, it shows that I've added a bunch of stuff. That's all the new file stuff. So it's going to add all this stuff. And then what I need to do is I need to commit this change. So I've created a change and I've got it ready. I need to create what's called a commit, which is going to basically commit my change. And it's going to start tracking things when I change it. So I do git commit. I do a -m for message. And I want some sort of meaningful message about what this is. This is my initial commit, my initial change. I'm populating. I could put showing Kayla and Olivia stuff. All right. And it's going to be basically the same thing. So you can see it did my commit. It went out and created a bunch of stuff, or it committed that to the repository. So I'm saying, yep, I'm happy with my changes. I want to commit it. However, at this point, everything is still just locally on my machine. So what I need to do next is I need to push it from my machine up to the GitLab server. And the way I do that is this git push. So you're going to do a push. So git push. The U, I'm not quite sure what the U is. Origin, I guess, is by machine, or the do you know what the -u is, Laura?
I think it might be upstream.
Oh, okay. In origin, the upstream origin, and then the branch. And so I'm pushing it into the master branch. Typically, you won't push things into the master branch, but for the initial one, you kind of have to. So I do that. And now, if I did everything right, so when I refresh this page, this is the page for the infinite recharge at home, I should see a bunch of new stuff. And there's all our
Yay.
stuff.
Yeah. So I think as like a little recap, can you go back to the command line, command prompt for a moment?
Yeah.
And then maybe just, yes, that's perfect. Yeah, or scroll up a little bit. And so
It wasn't intentional. My mouse moves sometimes when I just single click, it wants to double, it's like double clicking. It's probably a 15-year-old mouse. It's a wired mouse, which I really like because it works well with
Oh,
my
gotcha.
monitor switch.
Well, it
Uh,
worked. But I, yeah, was thinking just to kind of like scroll up and then we can just kind of like rehash what the different commands did. Because, now we've kind of seen an example, seen that it does something, but what were we kind of doing? So first, that git status, we're on a branch. So we're on, we are connected to the repository, but no commits yet. So no commits, no real like changes have been added yet. But it shows this whole list in red of files that are in the current project that we're in, but have not yet been added or saved really anywhere. And so then the git add all then selects all of those files that are there and stages them or gets them ready to be included in a commit or a change, kind of a change log message. And so then then when we do git status on the same branch, no commits, but there are all of these changes, all of these new files that we just added that once we add a message will then get included in this commit or this saved change, I guess. Like
yeah. And you can
yeah.
can have multiple commits when you do a push too. So you can organize your work to say, oh, here's my stuff for today or certain thing that I'm working on.
If you wanted to, you could commit like 4 things, and then if you didn't want to commit other things and you still weren't sure about them, you could not commit those.
Definitely. Yes. Yeah. So she's asking, can you commit some things, but then not commit other things, even though maybe
Yes.
there have been changes made? And so
Yes.
when we did that git add dot, that dot adds all of the files, but you can also just add certain files at a time by saying git add and then list whatever file you want added. So we could have added only half of these files into one commit, and then we would have only like saved those files in that commit, and then you could keep working on the other files if there were still things to do, and then add those other files in a different commit. You could definitely like, make whatever changes in many or any commits that you want. And so then here when we did this, the commit git commit -m with that message, and then once we did enter, it kind of gives you a list of what you changed, and so it shows that the changes made in this commit was that we created create mode all of these files, and so those files hadn't been saved yet, but now they were created into the Git repository in this commit. And so in future commits within these same files, it won't say create mode, but it'll say, it will let you know that we updated or made changes in those files. And so from here we could continue and just whenever you're adding code into different classes and things, you can definitely just add whatever files you're working on that are ready, and then add a commit message, and try to kind of like look through this the terminal or the command prompt of what it's showing you was added or ready to be included in this commit, because it will kind of explain it, but in the beginning it might still be a little bit confusing, because I know it is a lot, but
And typically you probably won't use the command prompt a whole lot, because now that I need to use it for the initial population of the project. But if I go into, I think this is the one I'm using. Now that I have it populated.
Yeah. Or even in the bottom here, your terminal, I think is right there. If you just click into it. Oh, okay.
So over here on the left side of VS Code, you have the little document, little piece of paper that's the Project Explorer, and then there's a search, and then you have source control. So if I wanted to, you can do a lot of that stuff from here and not actually have to do it on the command prompt. So if I wanted to create a new branch, like I have a bunch of work on, there's some work I want to do and not interfere with the master branch, because it's bad form to actually check things into the master branch directly. So I could do checkout to, and it's going to prompt me. It's like, you want to create a new branch or a new branch from something else, or checkout detached. So typically you're going to do new branch, and I'm going to do Wade's or Wade feature branch or test branch, right? I'm just going to call Wade test. And so it's going to go out and it's going to create a new branch. And I can sit and I can make a change. So I'm just going to add a comment someplace, like, oh, because that's the easiest thing for me to do right now. Is I can like put in some sort of silly comment, like, hey, here is my comment. Or I can make a bunch of other code changes and stuff like that, right? And I'm going to save my file. And then when I'm ready, and you notice here under the source control, it says there's one pending change. So I can go here and it'll show me what my change is, right? Hey, here's my comment. And I can put in, I could do a commit right here at the top in this message where it says message, and I can do some sort of like my comment, right? Look what I added. Right? And then
You might have to do the check mark at the top, or I'm not sure.
I just need to do.
Oh, okay.
And then I want to commit it. Would you like to stage all your changes and commit them directly? Yes. So again, that's the same as me doing the commit command on the command prompt. And then I can do a push. I can push, and the branch Wade test has no upstream branch. Would you like to publish this branch? Why, yes, I would. So now it's going to go do the same. It's going to go push my changes. And that was in, so I did, that was in what, robot Java? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now if I go back to the this page, remember here it had one branch. If I refresh this, I should see two branches. And so if you notice here, we're looking at the master branch. And if I go look in robot Java, you won't see my comment in here. You actually have to go look at my test branch. And yeah, here's my comment right here. And now, this is probably a topic for later, is there's a way to take this change and then merge it into the master branch once we're like all happy that it's all working. And this way, we make sure that the master branch only has things that we know that work versus things that we aren't sure about. Does that make sense?
Kind of.
Kind of. It takes a little bit. It is a little bit.
Some parts made sense, and then some parts I just.
So I think we'll do just one more thing today, which is I will have maybe Laura have Olivia and Kayla share their screen, and Laura can walk you through on how to clone the project from Git. Because once I have this initially populated, if somebody new comes along, like Ethan now needs to get the source code from GitLab so that he can start working on it. So cloning is basically downloading the code from GitLab so that you can start working on it, versus everybody creating their own little project. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
So you want to show them, Laura?
Yeah. Do you want to share your screen possibly, and I'll
Sure.
walk you through it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. So I have this, and then I clicked on this because I was like trying to follow along, but then I got lost.
No worries. That's totally fine. From here, I'm actually going to have you. Do you have the GitLab project link for our group project?
We could probably.
If not, I'll grab it and send it in the chat.
Is it in here? Or would it be?
No worries. Just one second. I'm grabbing the link for us. Cool. Okay, so. All right, I just added the link in the chat. Oh, nice. Yeah, you're here. So from here, do you see kind of in the middle of the screen, the blue button that says clone? If you click that, and then it has a down arrow kind of that you can click. And then the clone with HTTPS is usually what I use. You can just click that to copy the URL.
Since they have SSH stuff, they can use the SSH part too.
Yeah. And then go over either into your VS Code or into your command prompt. And from here, I would, from here, so right now your command prompt is open and we see that you're in your .ssh folder or directory. So from here, I would do cd space ... And what that does is it goes back up one directory. And then you can probably press a tab and it'll make a backslash, I believe. Or if you do a backslash.
No.
Other direction.
I was like,
All good.
Don't worry, Windows is the one that has everything backwards.
oh, so confused.
Backslash, usually it's like underneath the delete or the backspace.
Oh, I'm just going. Oh, there we go.
Nice. And then here, I believe the folder that you created was like my FRC 2021. So if you start typing in my F and then press the tab key, and then you can press enter. And so what that did was it changed the directory of what you are currently in into this your FRC directory now. And so you can see that in the command prompt. That's kind of what it says. And so now here, to clone the project, it's basically going to take the project that is on the remote server, so like the one that we're looking at on GitLab that we copied. If you type in git space clone and then a space, and then you paste, so you can do Control V to paste what you'd copied.
From here.
No, I think we already copied it. So if you do Control V, it will likely be there. Nice. And then you can press enter. And so now if you type in dir, enter. So previously you'd created kind of your sample test project was in your Kayla Noel directory, but then now we see that this other directory has been created that's called 2021 Infinite Recharge at Home. And so what that last command that we did was it cloned all of the contents of the project that are on GitLab currently to your local, basically the computer that you're currently working on. And so now if you do cd space 20 and then you press a tab and enter, that would basically just bring you into the folder, the base folder of like this project. But from here, I think it would probably be best for us to open up VS Code. So if you use that shortcut that had been created on your desktop on the bottom left, you can just
Actually,
yeah,
already has it running. But
oh yeah, on the bottom of your screen too. That works too. Either way. And so from here, you could say in the middle, it kind of says start open folder. And so here I would go
my FRC 2021.
yeah, to the my FRC. And then actually so here now it'll show both of the projects. I probably would
Do
kind
open
of X
folder
out of
again.
this one and just open the 20 Infinite Recharge at home. So we can do kind of the same step is fine. And either on the welcome screen or if you go to file at the top of if you see the file at the top of Visual Studio, at the top of VS Code, yep. From there you can say open folder and then double click on, or like click on the 2021 Infinite Recharge. You can just click that and then say select folder. Yeah, this is good. We've selected the correct one. And so now this opens up just the update found. I would say we maybe don't
No, for
have to
now.
install that right now. You can say no. And so
And you can
now
see
as
it's actually building that right now. So
yeah. So like VS Code, when you open up a new project, it'll try to build what is what's currently there if it has a build Gradle to go off of. And so it should, build successfully just as it had on Wade's computer. And then in the left of VS Code, you can see now that all of those kind of folders and contents of this project are there. Yep, yeah. And so if you open up source, the SRC folder, and then you can open up the Java, and then they're the the main and the robot classes that we had kind of looked at. And that had, Wade had just made the comment on that. So now you currently now on your computer have basically downloaded the project from GitLab and it's synced. So now I guess another thing that you could do is in the kind of middle bottom of VS Code where it says like build successful in green. Yep, if you just like kind of click into that box. And then like now you can press enter from here. Oh, that got rid of it. I'm sorry. up at the, I guess at the top, there's a terminal tab. It says terminal, and you can say new terminal. And so from here, maybe you can say git status. So git space status. It would be like the GIT.
GIT.
Nice, enter. And so this shows that you're currently on master branch, and it's kind of synced with the remote master. So from here, if you wanted to have a you know, a Kayla test branch, you could do git space checkout. Checkout is all one word. And I think, so it'd be checkout, CHECKOUT, sorry, all good. But still with the git in front of it. And you might have to tab through it, yeah. And then actually it's gonna be after that, you can say, go all the way to the end and say -B. So a -B creates a new branch. And so now if you say space, you could say Kayla test, or you could say whatever you want the name of this branch to be. But I would probably make it all one word, just because that can be helpful. And then, yeah, you can say enter. And so now it says switch to new branch Kayla test. And so right now your branch Kayla test is the same, all of the same files that were on the master branch, but you could go ahead and make any changes to files from here and then follow those steps of adding and committing changes. And then if you wanted to git push, you would then, it would prompt you to add a new branch upstream too. So then if you pushed, you could then have that Kayla test branch available on the GitLab site.
I find it interesting how Laura does it most things through the command line, where I like to use the UI push.
Yeah, I do, yeah, pretty much everything through the command line. And so here, yeah, so we still don't have Kayla test on here because we haven't yet pushed it. So right now you have Kayla test locally on your computer. And then if you were to like make changes and then push, that's what gets it kind of in sync with the remote. Like your local to remote is when you either push or pull. So if if someone made changes on like that were available on our GitLab project site, you could then use a git pull command to pull those changes down onto your local computer, and you'd be able to like see or edit them. And then when you make changes on your local computer to get them to the remote GitLab site, you would have to use that git push. Does that somewhat make sense? So you could try with git push, but you also can make changes and then try the add commit and push. And so from here, what you can do is you can copy and paste that text. So if you see where it says git push -- set upstream origin Kayla test,
Yep.
If you could select all of that, highlight it, but then just, yeah, have it from the beginning to the end. So now, and then do Control-C, and that copied it. And then you can do, you can just X out of that, the little corner X. And then just click into the screen again to make sure that your cursor is there, and then Control-V. And you can do enter here. And so what this is the same as what, okay, so here it will prompt you to use your, like, to enter in your GitLab username and password. And I think this might have been because I generally use the other, I don't use the Git, the SSH, I use the like the other Git clone option. But this should be okay too.
Oh, wow. All caps. Oh, no, no, no,
That's okay, take your
no. No way,
time.
all caps. I think that might. Oh. Access denied. No, that wasn't it. Have a job. I was looking to see what
Would you need to like reset your password potentially? If you don't know, or you could try it again too.
I don't remember what I set it as. I have no clue. So if I wanted to, then I would.
That's okay. I'd say you can double check on that later. I won't ask you to do it while you're sharing screen, but you likely can go to, if it's like saved in Chrome, you could likely go to like your saved Chrome passwords and then find it there without having to reset it. But I wouldn't suggest you doing that while you're sharing screen,
Oh
just
my
so you
gosh,
don't
that's
share it.
exactly the same.
I'm wondering if it is the reason it prompted for the password because it was cloned using HTTPS or.
Yeah, I think that's why it prompted for the password. But
Yeah.
then as long as you have the right like user password combo, it should go through.
Yeah, and this maybe
Go
the
through
solution
fine.
for the multi-user thing of Kayla and Olivia, but if you clone it using SSH, you won't have to have your user password.
So if I wanted to.
Oh, also it, because there's also the global config of setting the username and email address. That's probably why it's asking. Because there's
Oh
global,
yes, because you have to do the Git, the setup, the global
Yeah,
username and
that's-
password. Yeah,
that's
exactly. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
otherwise it doesn't know who is doing the commit.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I think that would probably happen either way then. But yeah, I would say I think your password's likely saved in your like Chrome, so you could check that afterwards. But then you could just do that the same command that we just had tried. And so I guess I'll just break down that the command was git push. So like I said, that would be, pushing your changes, or you don't have to enter it, you don't have to type it in, but if you look just like about 3 lines or 4 lines above where your cursor currently is, it has that full command printed of what we'd attempted. And so that was git push set upstream origin. So that is setting, it's setting upstream as origin. And so origin is basically the GitLab would be like the GitLab server code. All of that would be stored as kind of the origin location, whereas like here we're local, but then giving the same branch name Kayla test that you have locally. And so you would be pushing it up to the origin server, the Kayla test branch name. And so once you have that like GitLab user pass configured, if you were to just run that same command, then it would push it up to the GitLab, and you'd be able to kind of like select the branches, and then along with Wade test, there would be Kayla test there as well.
Okay.
Yeah, any other thoughts? I'd suggest, yeah, maybe just directly after that, see if you can kind of get your password and then just try this command again. And then if you are still having issues,
Just what I like originally signed into GitLab for is I use my laptop. It's probably on my laptop.
okay, cool. But yeah, just try and let us know how it goes, and we can kind of debug if there's other issues that come up. We can help answer those and get
And
through there.
sometimes the best way to learn this is to just experiment. Don't be afraid to try stuff out.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, and feel free to poke around on you know, I think you had seen on the FRC site. I'm sure there's some other things, and in Visual Studio with that, you know, command palette with those other examples that FRC has. Those might be helpful to just, you know, set up some random examples and just start looking through the different code files to see what's there. It likely won't make total sense, but you can read through some of the comment blocks. Will, I'm sure, be more readable than the actual, you know, chunks of code. And then, you know, the more you get exposed and you kind of read what it's supposed to do in the comment block, and then you see how the code kind of breaks it out, it'll definitely start making sense.
Okay, and once I'm done like checking everything out, do I just press X on everything and it'll all save itself? I won't ruin anything but press X, like on
Great.
the command block and like the notepad and stuff.
Great question. So Notepad, you can X out of. The command prompt, you can X out of. VS Code, I will say, if you are making file modifications, when there's a file open, it'll kind of have like the tabs of files within VS Code open, and at the top of the tab, if everything is saved, it'll have an X at the top, and then if you click the X, it'll exit out of that file. But if there's been changes made to the file, that X will become like a filled in circle. And so that filled in circle means that there are changes in that file that have not yet been saved. And so then if you do Control S while you're in the file, it would save the new changes that you made, and then it would, like, the top tab symbol would turn back into an X and you could X out of it. But I think, I don't know, we can show you that kind of again next time or whatever. I'm not sure how much you'll be like going through and changing in VS Code, but yes, like for all of the for the notepad and the command thing, it's totally safe to X out of there. The commands you've already made, you know, we've kind of made the commands and implemented what we needed to from them, I think. So yeah, safe to X out.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other comments? I guess we might sync back up on email to see when other people are available, or
Yeah.
if there might be another, you know, you can send out this recording. I imagine you're already on that, and then I likely won't be able to join in the week meetings again if they're during the day, but we'll definitely be able to connect again next weekend. So
yeah, or we can meet in the evening too or something. So
cool. Yeah, that would likely work. And same if like you are meeting during the day, but then people have questions and want to meet again in the evening, like you can also do a few sessions that I'm happy to jump into.
I know it's a lot to digest, and I'll send the video out. You can watch it again and sort of like go through it in slow motion and step through it. It's the best way to learn.
Yeah.
You can create projects in GitLab and put stuff up there and just try it out. And, you're not going to break anything, so don't worry about breaking anything. If you get stuck, let us know. We'll help you out. So. Cool. With that, it's been like 2 hours, so I know my brain is about fried. So with that, I think we will call it a meeting.
Okay.
Okay, I'll let you guys relax and rest. So.
Yeah.
Have fun. If you
Yeah,
have
sounds-
Thank
questions,
you.
don't be afraid to ask. We're here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. All right. See you later.
see ya. Bye.
Bye.